guys, thanks for tuning in. It's the one and only Optibotimus coming with another video review. And on today's episode, hot off the presses of taking a look at the fully combined Devastator, we're going to be taking a look at the final piece to make him as movie accurate as possible. We're going to be taking a look at the new Transformers Studio Series, Voyager class Skipjack, which is basically just a repaint of Rampage. But as I said, in a color scheme that gives us a more accurate looking Devastator. For the package, much like all the Studio Series figures, you got the Transformer text with the Generation logo, nice open window that fully showcases them. It's these obviously from Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. Got the CGI image there, up close image of his ugly face right there. The other side here has that image of Devastator, the little Devastator logo on the backdrop. Come around to the back of the package. You can see images of him in his robot as well as his vehicle mode. Obviously, he is big screen inspired in terms of scale, detail, all that fun stuff. And obviously, he does come with his backdrop, which is that desert battle. But for the packaging on this guy, that's about it. Nothing different, nothing special. So without further ado, let's get him out here and see how cool he actually is. Alright, so here we have Skipjack opened up and out of his packaging. And as you can tell, he's the exact same figure as Scavenger. Nothing's different. The mold is the exact same. Now, I vaguely remember seeing somewhere online that there was a waist issue or something that was corrected on this. Honestly, I don't even know what that's about. If somebody can tell me what that is, do it in the comment section and I'll reply to it. And I'll let you know if this actually has been fixed. Now, for his accessory, he does come with his little stand thing. I didn't plug it into the bottom, but you know how you do that. And then you also have these little bits that can port right into the side. He also uses this in his robot mode. He had, well, I don't know. I mean, we didn't really see him in the movie. We saw this guy in the movie. This was the guy that kidnapped Sam's parents. And then, like I said, he transformed, and mostly we saw him, and then we saw another version of him. So, I mean, we mainly got to see this guy. But here is your comparison. Basically, it's the exact same, except that everything that is red on this guy is now yellow. The blacks are the same. The windows are all the same. The silver's the same. Nothing is really different. Honestly, it's just whatever was red on him has now been changed to yellow. Which again, just makes for a movie-accurate leg for Devastator. Which, yes, I will show you that. But this little stand thing is the exact same as this one as well. And I had that tucked around. So those are the same. But, I mean, really, there's not much else to talk about so much here. Like I said, they're the exact same. Just the color difference, mostly. And I mean, and honestly, you're not wrong having both of these. If you wanted to keep this for Devastator, that would work perfectly fine. If you wanted to keep him as an individual character, because we saw him individually, I mean, Bumblebee fought him. There was that whole scene, like I said, with the parents. I mean, you absolutely could display this as a separate character, despite the fact that they're the exact same mold. So yeah. That's that. But, obviously, transformation is the exact same. I'm not going to go through it. We have seen it. If you need any help or anything of that nature, my playlist with the Constructicons is available. You can check that out and get any help that you may need. But using that good old-fashioned Optibotimus movie magic, we're going to go from Skipjack looking like this to looking like this. And like I said, we never technically saw Skipjack in his robot mode. When all the Constructicons were converging on Agent Simmons, there were some that were down in the pit, and then there were a couple on a ledge. One of the ones that we saw coming up in terms of like the vehicle forms was a yellow version of this guy. And then obviously we saw the yellow version as the leg, which primarily is why I wanted to get this. Now, for the comparison, right away, again, nothing is different between the two other than the color. Literally, as I said, everything red on here has now been swapped with yellow. The gray plastic, the silver painted details are all the exact same. Now, the only thing that I really did that's a little bit different is I put his guns on there. I left those little gun sections attached to his little waist piece here. But literally, it's all the same. The silver looks the same. The slightly darker silver looks the same. The gray is the same. It's all the same. I mean, really, there's nothing different other than the color on it. So there you go. But like I said, at least this was a separate character that we saw fighting Bumblebee. This one we just saw as a vehicle. So again, I don't mind having two of these guys. One thing that I will say though is the original Rampage here, the arms were a little bit loose on mine. That kind of bothered me for the longest time. I mean, they just kind of drooped there, but the joints on this guy have been considerably tightened, which is very nice to see. I mean, like, even when you're, like, rotating it around, I mean, this feels just a little bit looser when you're doing it. And the shoulders are really the floppiest part about him. But that is really a nice aspect that they were able to tighten things up for this new release. Now, again, articulation is the same. Nothing else changes. But I keep talking about how this guy is going to be a leg for me in my collection. So, let's take care of that right now. And go from him looking like this. Boom! There we are. We have a leg. And it is a much more movie-accurate looking leg, obviously. Again, nothing really changes on him. I wish there was, you know, if anybody knows, maybe I could do it like underneath here, because that's where the whole connecting part was. So, maybe you could do that. I'm just trying to think of a place, what the hell, where you could store this. I guess you could probably do that like that. Yeah, I mean, that would work, right? Yeah, that would work. All right, there. I just solved my own dilemma. But here he is. Again, it's the color form. It works so much nicer. Now, let's do this. Let's complete this sucker. So we're going to come around here to the back. We're going to slide this in to that gappy area. Push that down. Just kind of sit that right there. Angle that. So you know what? With how tight these joints are, that really helps the overall, I feel, stability for him. Although, you know, he doesn't have any tilting going on now. Didn't he tilt before? I feel like he tilted before. What do I have happening? I mean, his does. Oh, there we go. All right, just had to bend it a little bit more, but there. Devastator. Proper. Yeah. And now, because we have this piece, we can take this and plug that right on there. And it just kind of makes it look like a piece of him is coming up there. So, absolutely fantastic. Really very cool. Now, a lot of people are going to be asking me, Optibotimus, are you going to be getting that DNA kit thing? I haven't quite decided yet. There's a lot of stuff that it does add that improves the overall look for him. I feel like the majority of people are going to want it for the testicles. But hey, I might get it for that, simply because he's got a little thing here. Yeah, I did it. I'm a child. But there you go, guys. There's your look at Skipjack. It completes the look for him. It does a much better job. I mean, I like the, uniform look of having, like, one red leg. But, I mean, like I said, you got basically now two characters. You got Rampage, which was a whole separate character than what combined with Devastator. So, for me, it all is gravy. If you watch my review of Devastator, you already know the articulation, the range of motion, all that kind of stuff. I do say that with the tightness of the joints, that really does help to kind of stabilize them. That really is nice. At least on my copy. I don't know. I mean, yours may not be as kind of loose as this guy was, but I mean, like this, I mean, I'm trying to... I mean, no, I mean, I really don't know what people were complaining about with this. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. But beyond that, guys, that's about it. So, I want to thank you all for tuning in once again. If you like this video, I would really appreciate it if you would do one very simple thing for me. And that's just to hit that thumbs up button. That one very small gesture really does go a long way towards helping me out. And I would really very much appreciate it. Also, I want to send a huge shout out to all of my patrons who, through their continued support, now more than ever help to make reviews like this possible. And if you'd like information on how you can help support my channel by becoming a patron, feel free to check out my Patreon page at patreon.com/optibotimus. And as always, remember that the real trouble with the world is that too many people grow up. Thank you for watching and taking the time to be a kid.